Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the HitchHiking Host Show. I am your host, your ghost host, West Troop. And I'm back this week to talk about all the new stuff that went down at the Disney parks. And we're going to take a little bit of an in-depth look at a new version of a classic ride that a lot of people like, and some people don't, but, you know, whatevs. We got a couple haters. But this week, we're going to take a look at the newly opened Soarin Around the World, and then we're going to finish it up with some news. Okay, so everything about Soarin' Around the World at Epcot and Disney's California Adventure is all the same going into the ride. It's obviously the same ride building and the same queue and all that stuff. There's a few new things in the interactive queue at Epcot, but at Disney's California Adventure, they just redid it last year, so there's nothing new there. Then you get to where the pre-show video is before you go into the theater, and it's we're welcomed by Patrick, the flight attendant. It's still Patrick Warburton, so that's pretty cool because I like that video. It cracks me up for some reason all the time. And then you go into the theater. The seats rise up like normal. A variation of the Soarin' score, a remix, if you will, remix plays. And then, of course, the film starts. And we start off in the clouds at the Matterhorn, the actual mountain, not the Disneyland ride. Although that would have been pretty funny. But more about that ride a little later on, because it comes back around, cool enough as that is. And then you fly over snow and glacier-covered waters, where a whale jumps out of the water and makes a splash. Then you head to Sydney with the Opera House. You pass by a huge castle, the African savannah, complete with elephants walking around. Some very cool scenes here. And then you head to the Great Wall of China, which has some very cool shots while you're soaring over the Great Wall. You see pyramids with people on camels, the Taj Mahal, Grand Canyon with hot air balloons flying above it, beautiful oceans, Niagara Falls, and then near the end we head to the Eiffel Tower and Paris at night. Evidently, when you're soaring through the Eiffel Tower, you you teleport somehow from the Eiffel Tower to your final destination. And this is pretty cool because you end up in whatever park you're riding this in. Now, if you're riding it at Epcot, you end up at soaring over Epcot, which is really cool because I thought it was always weird that how you would soar over a Disneyland. And so many people thought it was the Magic Kingdom. I'm like, wrong castle, people. But I thought, so I like you soar either over Epcot or Disneyland, which is a new version of that Disneyland shot, or the city of Shanghai, depending where you ride it. Because it's three different places they've got this. They've got it at Epcot, Disney's California Adventure, and at the new Shanghai Disneyland. So at Epcot, when you come to the finale, you see the monorail, you see Spaceship Earth, of course the buildings, and then Tinkerbell flying and illuminations in the background. And right as you fly over Spaceship Earth, be sure to look for a hidden Mickey and during the fireworks finale. At Disney's California Adventure, you see a new Disneyland flyover, complete with the monorail, Sleeping Beauty Castle, Space Mountain, the Matterhorn, of course. So that's pretty cool, because you start out with the real Matterhorn and end with the fake one. And of course you see Tink and the fireworks over the castle. and a humongous crowd. Maybe I'm in there for my last vacation. Who knows? But yeah, try to find me. It'll be like, where's Waldo? Where's Wesley? And then of course in the Shanghai version, it's just a soar over the city of Shanghai because the park wasn't done yet when they shot this version of the film. So Soarin' Over the World, there's some really cool stuff that I like about this. Like I said, not too much new in the queue or anything like that, so don't be expecting, you know, the whole land pavilion to be revamped, because it's mostly just a new film. Now, they did add a third theater for Soarin' Over the World, so hopefully there'll be shorter waits at least. But so what did I think of Soarin' Over the World altogether? I thought the film looked beautiful and bright, and it shows off the amazing scenery shown in the film. I liked all of the places that the film showcases, and I feel that has a really cool connection with Epcot and World Showcase, more than it does just flying over California, which I guess had more of a connection with just the land pavilion itself. Like, here's some land, here's some stuff you can see if you go outside, type things. You know, I thought the film was cool. I love the different endings depending on which park you ride it in. I thought that's a nice touch. I like the flying over Epcot or the Disneyland or the city of Shanghai. I love that they kept the music and the theme and made variations to that theme as it needed it. You know, as you were flying over the Great Wall, it had a Chinese feel. The Taj Mahal, when you were flying past that, it had a little Indian type feel to it. I really thought that was really cool. A little bit of a variation on the theme that we know and love. You know what I'm talking about. Soarin', soarin', soarin'. Now I can do soarin' over the world, soarin'. One thing I thought was a little bit odd about the film is the scene transitions. I thought were a bit jarring, like the elephant spraying dirt at the screen. You know, when you're in the African savannah, all of a sudden you see the elephant lift its trunk up and just like throws dirt on the screen, and then boom, you're at the next destination. It's like, oh, okay. I got hit with dirt, and now I'm in China. All right, whatever. But the most jarring one, no doubt about it, is a bird that flies right at the camera. Luckily, it doesn't go splat. But I thought that was kind of, like, I heard people, like, scream. It's a little more jarring than the golf ball. So there is a lot of that. There's a lot of the silliness transitions, but you know, I don't mind that. It's funny a couple times, but it's just kind of weird that they, like, every scene almost has one of those. But whatever. It transitions in the next destination somehow, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. I like both versions of the films, the Soarin' Over California, the original film, and this version, but I feel this is the type of ride that can easily swap films back and forth, and I'm glad to see something a little different, you know, because I've seen the Soarin' Over California quite a few times now in person, so I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to enjoying the new film, and I can't wait to see it in person to soak it all in. Also this week, at Walt Disney World, a few other new attractions opened, including Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair at the Magic Kingdom, and Star Wars, a Galactic Spectacular at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Of course, I'll be taking a closer in-depth look at both of those shows in upcoming episodes, so stay tuned. Though it wasn't scheduled to officially open until this week, Disney surprised guests earlier this week by soft opening the Royal Sommerhus. Sommerhouse, obviously. Meet and greet at the Norway Pavilion at Epcot. Now, the Frozen ride isn't open at this second as I'm recording this show, but it is going to open this week. Or maybe by the time you even watch this video, it'll be open. We're talking about that next week, by the way, so be sure to tune back in for that. The new attraction has an interior queue that we're talking about the summer house now, not the Frozen ride. Features furnitures, toys, and other items used by Anna and Elsa when they were children. There's also a few hidden Maelstrom tributes for those with keen eyes, so stay sharp. After winding around the area, guests are led to a beautifully decorated room, where Anna and Elsa meet guests in their usual attire, so those rumors about the Frozen Fever dresses, I guess, were false, unless they're saving them for the grand official opening. That's very possible. But as of now, they're in their normal dresses. And then they meet in front of illuminated backdrops. From what I've seen, the Royal Sommerhus looks really nice inside. It's a really nice meet and greet location. I like that they're doing the nicer meet and greets inside, so you're not out in the heat and just like, oh god, and you just go into like a little room and there they are. I like the themed meet and greets. You know, the Princess Fairy Tale Hall was fine, but now they have their own little perfect meet and greet, just like they do in California, even though it's in the animation pavilion for some reason. You know, I have no problems with the Royal Sommerhus. I think it looks really nice. And speaking of that, now that Anna and Elsa have officially moved, there have been a couple of character changes at the Magic Kingdom. So if you're a character hunter, listen up, boy. Over at the Princess Fairy Tale Hall, Cinderella and Rapunzel have separated to opposite sides of the hall. Oh, they be fighting, and are now joined by visiting princesses Tiana and Aurora. Tiana is over with Cinderella and Aurora is with Rapunzel. As a result, Tiana's former meeting area is now vacant. Oh, maybe I'll set up a meet and greet there. And Snow White has moved into Town Square Courtyard by City Hall, where Aurora was meeting her guests. Unfortunately, because of Tiana's move, that means Princess Naveen has been removed from the Magic Kingdom character lineup. Oh, no, you didn't. But although he'll likely return during special events like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party or the Christmas Party. We shall see. Maybe, you know, he turned back into a frog. Anyway, and he's just, maybe he's on Tom Sawyer Island somewhere. Keep a lookout for him. So that is where you can find those characters if you are looking for them. Now we're going to hop back over to Epcot. The House of the Whispering Willows Gallery at Epcot's China Pavilion has reopened after a lengthy refurbishment and now features an exhibit with information, models, and costumes from the newly opened Shanghai Disney Resort. So if you're looking for some cool info or whatever about Shanghai Disney in a Disney park, not just from our show, definitely check that out at Epcot's China Pavilion. I know I would check that out if I was in the area. Who knows how long that'll be open, but to check it out while you can. Of course, this week we had a lot of news about the Seven Seas Lagoon. You couldn't not see that anywhere. So in response to those recent events at the resort, Disney has elected to close all beaches around the Seven Seas Lagoon and has installed fences around the water, complete with signs warning guests about dangerous wildlife in the area, including snakes and alligators. It's unknown if the beaches will open anytime soon or at if all. Yes, we're not going to beat this dead horse into the ground because, you know, it's been covered everywhere. I'm not going to talk about it here because I don't, other than this, because I really don't think it needs to be brought up again. Just, you know, be careful, guys. And finally, the Sassagoula Floatworks and Food Factory Food Court. Wow, is that a mouthful? Such a mouthful, in fact, I almost choked. At the Disney's Port Orleans Resort French Quarter, another mouthful, is closing July 11th for a major refurbishment and will reopen sometime later this fall. During the refurbishment, a temporary dining location will be made available near the lobby that will serve jambalaya, gumbo, po' boy sandwiches, beignets, other hot and cold entrees as well, and grab-and-go items. So if you're planning on staying at the Port Orleans French Quarter, just know that is going down. Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back this week with another Hitchhiking Host Show 101 where we're going to talk attraction history about an old school Disneyland ride, as well as another trending topic show next week, and hopefully I'll be talking all about Frozen Ever After next week, so make sure you come back for that. Join us next week for that. Until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. youtube.com/HitchHostShow. You can like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Follow on the Twitter @HitchHostShow. And if you want to listen to the show, or you are listening to the show, you can do so on Podbean. It's hitchhostshow.podbean.com. Or you can search for the show on iTunes or Stitcher under West Troop or the Hitchhiking Host Show. Until next time, don't forget to
hurry back for the next episode.
See ya.